video band interview. And we're joined tonight on the couch with the boys and girls from TerroRaze, Kill Frenzy, Violence is Blue, and the Clownspiracy. So to start off, Ed, I'm going to start with you. Surprise, surprise. Surprise. Yeah, I wonder why. So you started off the Clownspiracy as a solo project, right? But you've kind of you've grown by a couple of members. So tell us a bit about that.
Yeah.
Does everyone in the band play an instrument, or
No, everyone doesn't play an instrument. You see, Clownspiracy is not all just about the music, it's also about the theatrical performance, We all as metalheads have this little thing about death and gore and all that type of thing. And I've been in a bar and I've heard a sound guy say, when I just a regular guy because I do sound as well, say to me, when I close my eyes, this band sounds cool. When I open my eyes, that guy looks like a lawyer, and then they count to so I want the guys to
this looks like a chartered accountant.
I want them to close their eyes and open their eyes and have the same experience, So we like to go on and horror, so I want you to open your eyes and get that as well,
Fantastic.
But I need help with all of that type of thing, because I can't do everything and play the music, so.
Yeah, you can do anything, but not everything.
We've got some people on stage there that does the lights, and another guy does all the, sets up all the stuff that's going to move around.
Minion.
Yeah, so all the heads and the bodies and all the things.
Dude,
so
I'm actually curious. I've been in and out of theatre my entire life. Have any of you guys done any toneel spell or just theatre stuff? In general,
does that count?
School, after school, what's artscape?
Not actually, no. We've got a friend, Kerry Hauser, who's an actor and musician, and she comes to Cape Town now and again and does a bit of theatre, does a show. And that was also kind of the inspiration for this, because she's also a musician as well. But then she goes and she does a performance, and it's
that's awesome.
It's quite an inspiration to see, everything's it's more than the music, there's something else going on there as well. So I kind of opened my eyes to that and decided to try and incorporate it, into this whole thing. But I need help. The songs are one thing, but the show's another thing. It's a lot to deal with.
Can relate.
But the Clownspiracy is a fantastic name. It is an outstanding
it just came up, I don't know, it wasn't I needed to come up with a name and, I thought, well, the clown was the idea, and I thought, how can we make it a little bit sinister in some other way, and I don't know, the conspiracy idea came in there, and I just combined the two.
Definitely channeling Art the Clown for the horror fans.
Yeah, that's the plan. We're having fun.
But you guys have a super interesting name, and on the same subject, Violence is Blue is a very interesting name as well. But apparently you sort of came across that by a stroke of luck somehow. You want to tell us about that?
Yeah, so basically we were finishing Execution at the time, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, so I was gonna drop him off at home along with Carlo, we were just cruising along, going our own way just to drop you off.
Yeah.
And then next second we were discussing about how sick this name is of this song and its execution, blah blah blah. We don't have a name of our own band, so then we decided okay, it just came as a fluke where there was blue flowers on the side of the field, and then there's a road, and there's a random house with red roses and shit over there. And then I just thought of that, roses are red, violets are blue. And then I said the whole thing wrong, so I said roses are red, but violence is blue. And then you're violence, that's the name.
Yeah.
And
that's kick ass.
So at the time I just felt
is that
are you serious? But then it was it was a cool name. We didn't expect it to come as a fluke, really.
That's awesome,
yeah, that's pretty much how it came up as.
It's pretty cool when they choose a band name, I've got to say.
Man, everything else, some other names is just.
now it's a play on words of violets and blue. That makes it like 5 times as cool. That's amazing.
Is there any other names that you guys like considered that you had to like scratch off the list?
Oh, there were some weird names.
It's just like the top of that kind of thing. Like it's just like, why do we call ourselves like dirty sneakers? And just like, hey man, that's not gonna work back.
Yeah, you can't really see it on a poster. So I just wanted to find out from the boys from Kill Frenzy as well. Like you guys, you've got a bit of a reputation, or not a reputation, but you're kind of known for being a little bit risky on stage, not taking things too seriously. Like, does that kind of thing translate into practices as well, like rehearsals and stuff?
Definitely. I think us as a band have never taken anything really seriously, and we see the rehearsal space as our own therapy session pretty much. Once a week, doesn't matter what's going on in your personal life or in your professional life. We get there, we just fuck around, have fun, we actively try to make each other laugh.
Excellent.
And yeah, I mean, even this week, I think we had our first band fight ever. And went for some drummer. Yeah. And then we got some marriage counseling and got all our feelings out there. And hey, now we're back to fucking around again. So, like,
luckily, nothing bad ever came from the drummer.
So that sort of banter that you have on stage, like it translates into the practice place?
Definitely. I think actually if you had to take some of the stuff we said at practice, we might be behind bars right now. Like, I think we would get cancelled a long time ago. I think we're much less risque when there's people around.
Try to press people's buttons and get reactions out of people. Yeah. So you obviously got to know where that line is as well, but
like push the limit up to that point, but not.
It's just cool to see people's reactions. You can tell that person is pissed. That person is laughing their asses off. And they digging it.
Both at the same time. It's not
it's only good fun, really.
And I think people take themselves too seriously. Like sometimes you give like a bit of a risky joke, and then it gets super quiet until that one guy in the bar is like, and that breaks the ice, and everybody's like, oh, okay, cool, you can laugh at that. Like, okay, cool, everything is fine. So just give that bit of a push. Like it's fine to make fun of anything, to make jokes about anything. It's like people take themselves up way too seriously as of late. Like.
Yeah, I think also there's like to push on that whole like. There's no like expression anymore because people are too like scared to say things because of what other people might think, or like, oh, we might get cancelled, and
everyone's really
it's like
correctness and that sort of
it's rock and roll, man. I mean,
I respect that big time.
Yeah, there's no rules.
Well, to a point.
To a point.
Yeah. Well, there might be a line.
Maybe like legally, but I mean.
Yeah. But if there is a line, somebody will probably slaughter it.
But so, Moritz, you are one of the founding members of TerroRaze.
That's correct, yes.
And you guys had your debut album launch in this year. It was the beginning of May, if I remember correctly.
Yes, that's correct, yes.
So, did you guys have good success at all the launches that you played?
Absolutely.
You had good fun doing it?
It was phenomenal, really. I must say, hands down, one of the best gigs I've ever played. And we just had such good support from everybody. And it was quite a ride, and I'd happily do it again with the next one. So
I have a little teaser for the future there.
Yeah, they must look out. Yes,
excellent.
It's gonna be rough.
I have to ask, how did you guys bring this amount of sound and like this great project together in such a short amount of time?
The brutality.
Definitely, and I mean it just came out of nowhere and hit you like a ton of bricks. Like, how did that happen?
I think it's mostly Chris's fault.
But between Moritz and Joe, I've known Moritz since school, and I've known Joe since I was in the scene. And I got in the scene when I was 14 years old, and my cousin had to sneak me in because it was on the just between the three of us, we've known each other for a bloody long time, man.
The chemistry was just like there, from the word go.
And then this one of a kind bassist shows up, and well,
I was going to shoot back to that side of the couch again quickly. I just want to find a little bit more about the Clownspiracy. So, Leo, can you tell us a little bit about like the theatrical aspects?
Sure. So, it wasn't a very hard transition for Ed to start being a little bit more theatrical in his performances. He's always been wild on stage. I don't know if any of you have ever seen him play live. you actually have to dodge because his guitar, the guitar, the drinks go flying. So, like I said, sorry, it wasn't such a big step. And he's always, to live, made things, been in construction. He's had a tiling business for a very, very long time. So for him to make something, it's incredible to watch the process, actually, as a bystander. As a creative person myself, the process to see him go, I think we should have a guillotine over there. And then you literally go, where are you going to suck that out of the ether? Next day, literally, I come home, there's a guillotine. And he goes, look, lovely, look. And he pulls a thing and goes, cuts the carrot's head off. So it's been fun. My house does not belong to me anymore. It belongs to Clownspiracy. I don't know. I think the only place that still has stuff where it belongs is my cupboard. The rest is chaos.
Open season on every other part of the house.
Yes. You can't walk anywhere without stepping on a bolt, screwdriver, some kind of half-made thing.
Bodies and stuff.
There's literally body parts all over the house. So,
You sound like the beginning of a really good screenplay.
So I think this is a natural progression for the style of performance that Ed likes to do. So it's very exciting. What is in store is amazing.
It's very different. It's not something that we've seen before.
No.
And that's extremely exciting.
Actually, I was trying to think of a name for it. So it's a sort of classic horror, no. Vintage horror show, no. Cult horror show, no. So we don't really have a classification or a little box to put it in yet. Not that we want to put it in one, but so it's a thing that's busy growing on its own. When Ed started this thing, it was in the garage and he built a little set and he was a little guy with beady eyes and he was, holding onto the thing with his long razor fingers. Next time it was something else, so it's growing.
There's an evolution.
So as the show is getting closer to actually being performed, I could see it start from an idea to this entire production.
Yeah, to becoming like a theatrical showpiece.
And that's why in the end, because in the beginning it was a solo performance, because it was very low key, it had a few flashing lights and the props were done, there were screens, so there wasn't much to do. And as it monster progressed and became the thing that it is, he needed people, someone to do the stuff that now needs to be done and play the music and coordinate lighting and do all that. So that's why the production actually grew into a three-piece instead of just the one.
Yeah, that's excellent.
Cool, awesome.
That's interesting. So after the very interesting, exciting and illuminating story we heard about how you guys got your name, okay, not got the name, or saw the name, Kyle, you specifically, if you had to class Violence is Blue, in a genre, sort of what would you class the style of music as?
Well, I think of Violence is Blue is kind of like a vehicle, because when we initially got together, we were kind of on different spaces. I met the bassist on a jazz bandstand. I myself was studying classical guitar. Dylan was this death metal drummer god that just rocked out of nowhere. And then me and Carlo, we used to perform in a metal band, a heavy metal stoner rock band. So when we came together, it was more just a exchange of ideas. So Dylan would come with this hectic riff and he would say look here, what do you think about this? And then I would sit and then I'd mess around with it and just be okay, maybe I can incorporate some of the stuff that I'm learning into it. And then Carlo would come and Carlo would just, make random drain noises over it and just... and with every song that we created, we kind of got to know one another a lot more, just so this is what you like, this is where I'm at right now, how do we manage it together? But I say we are deathcore, but I don't believe that our sound has reached its end point yet, but this is more just at the beginning of it.
Are there any guitarists that influence you? Like any guitarists that you see out there that you think, wow?
There is, well, it's too much to be honest. But like right now, I'm mainly influenced like by a lot of jazz guitarists, and then like the jazz fusion guys, so like the guys who like your Greg Howes and stuff, your Tosin Abassis, but then also like going back to like, because we are a metal band after all, and then I will go back to like the old heroes like your Kenny Kings or your Dimebag Battles. Somehow like you can slowly start to see like the small connections between the two.
Little bits of influence taken from lots of different places to build a very unique sound.
Something like that, yes.
Cool, that's excellent, man.
Can't go wrong with Dimebag Brew.
Long live.
R.I.P.
There's a thing there. Under the thing, there's a thing.
That is it.
It's the resume.
Oh,
Yes!
That's classic. Oh, nice.
Kill Frenzy Boys, you guys have been around for like 6 years. You've got a couple of music videos out there, a couple of singles, you've all played in previous bands before. Like, what's your sort of like pre-Kill Frenzy like music history?
Yeah. Well, before we started Kill Frenzy, actually it's our two previous bands that brought us together. So I used to play for a band called Red Tape Rebellion, and most of the Frenzy guys or ex-members all, along with Guthrie, played in Dead End. And the two drummer boys were friends with one another and worked together, and we started organizing gigs together. And through this, we used to see each other the whole time, and you know, on weekends we get pissed up and jam, and even Dead End's drummer used to do some guest vocals with Red Tape at the time. And it just so happened that like the stars aligned and everything happened at the right time. So Red Tape was pretty much coming to an end. You know, life just happened, and like the guitarist got a job that he couldn't resist, and the drummer started like you know, studying again. So
Someone had a kid.
yeah, you know, like life just escalated.
We'll never get far.
So it just so happened that at that stage, Dead End's vocalist decided to move on, and they were like, well, hey, maybe this could be a cool fit. So they invited me for a session to try something new, get a new project going, and then Kill Frenzy was born that day on the spot. The chemistry was just there, and yeah, well, the rest is pretty much history.
History being made at the moment.
Excellent,
though. And there's rumblings that you guys might have like a studio album coming out soon?
Yeah, so we've been working on it. Like we basically like this is the first show we played this year, and coincidentally, the last show we played was last Halloween. But we actually made that decision to say like we didn't want to play any gigs for the year because we just wanted to focus on writing, getting into a creative space.
Set back on stage in front of
Yeah, because I mean, like, you know, life is busy as it is. We struggle to get together and jam. I mean, like, he lives in Stellies, I live out like Bloberg side, other guy lives out in like Botterfield. So it's far, you know.
Yeah, Botterfield. I thought it was Bot River.
Lazy box. Yeah, so we just thought like, because otherwise we're gigging all the time and then we're just focusing on that, you know, then it's like gig, and it's like, okay, cool, it's like when we can get together, it's like, right, well, let's get the set together, let's focus on that, and then like we just never have time to get creative and get stuff done.
Material.
Yeah, so we decided just to take it off and be like, yeah, we're not worried about playing until we actually achieve that. And then we just thought, oh, it would be fun to actually just break out of that now and actually just play a cool live show again and have some fun with it, you know?
Yeah, give the people what they want.
Yeah.
Put on the stage again for a bit.
Yeah, exactly. So
That's it.
Christian, you guys were fortunate enough to play Metal for Africa this year.
Oh yes.
But you also had your album launch this year. Now, how did it feel going from album launch straight to the M4A stage?
I'll just say the same thing I said on stage. It was a little boy's dream coming true. Yeah, I've been to a lot of Metal for Africas. I've been to a lot of metal shows in Cape Town and South Africa in general, and I have never seen a turnout like that for the first band of like a 6 or 7 band festival at Metal for Africa. It was crazy.
You're absolutely insane crowd.
Knowing you're the first band up there and you're the ones that have to energize, you're the ones that have to get people in the mood and get the show going, and you already see hundreds of people already there ready to go for it. as the first experience playing a Metal for Africa ever, I could not have asked for better.
Excellent.
Yeah, man. That was it.
So a good experience all round.
That was incredible. I distinctively remembered how you know you've made it is when you can stand backstage and check out the other bands, because now you're special. And yeah, there was definitely something about checking out Thread of Omens. Well, they say it's their last performance. I hope it's not the case. I already missed that band. Thread of Omens was just for the longest time one of the bests in this Western Cape scene we got going. And yeah, being able to check out their last show from behind the bleachers, to be that close to them and to feel every last ounce of energy they put out for that last headliner of theirs, that was completely unforgettable.
Fantastic. Ed, Leo was telling us earlier about your, a little bit about your background. You've been in a couple of other bands, you've got a bit of a theatrical background. All of these things must help in putting together the show that you're putting on.
Yeah, a little bit. Back in the days, 2003 something around there. And I was in a black metal band. Then it was all about the face paint. It was hectic. So, I used to, red chainmail, that stuff used to wear a lot. And also, we were a lot younger in the 20s, so you're a small guy carrying around all that weight. So, it did kind of, there's a little bit of dressing up and that type of vibe was always like in the back of the mind. I've done that sort of thing before, I could possibly do it again, but nothing really called for it. I didn't really have the idea at the time, so a lot of the thing that's helped is the engineering and the construction background,
Tell us about not having house to yourself anymore.
That's it's quite something, because also I've got to do 2 stages back to back, the one stage is a square and the other stage is like a diamond, and I've got to take this whole big rig that I've made, put it in like a rectangle, and then the next day adjust it to put it in there, and transport everything, and it's like it's like a dungeon, like metal cage and everything, I've got to take all of this stuff and transport it and build it all, and
you've got to rebuild the entire thing.
There's a lot of thinking involved to try and make everything so that you can transport it small, it's lightweight, when you get there you can adjust it all like the next day, there's a heck of a lot to think about, so it's helped.
There's a lot of planning that goes into it.
A heck of a lot of planning. I'm up at 4 o'clock in the morning and I pace my ass and I'm working until 9 at night, it's every day, Sundays, there's no day off, it's been 3 months straight, so it's helped having all this engineering and knowledge of these things, the bit of experience to do all the planning and get everything. Time is running out, There's 2 bolts, 2 bolts.
If anyone can do it, I'm sure that you can.
Never lose that. Every day could be a lost book.
So now I'm quite excited today. Every day I'm waking up early and I'm working hard to do it. I'm looking very forward to this whole thing, having a control with all the bands.
I'm sure it's going to be a cycle.
Yes!
It's nothing better than hanging out with musos, and everybody enjoying themselves. It's awesome. So that's also one of the big inspirations to try and make this happen, make it awesome for everybody. So it's not just for the Clownspiracy, it's also for everybody else too. So
excellent.
We had a lot of fun doing this.
Super keen. Oh yeah!
So Dylan, just to hear a little bit more from you again, your first demo execution came out in 2020, released in 2020, in the pandemic.
Yeah, in the pandemic,
That must have affected you terribly.
So we really wanted to make an album, and half of the band wanted to release singles, because the direction at the time was more about dropping singles, to start growing. But connection and not having the greatest Wi-Fi around and all this didn't really make everyone connect very well. But I think our spirits were on the same level that got us through the lockdown and everything. That we really wanted to do this as a team, and we were really good friends. And we finally happened to do it. But there was nothing around at the time to actually jam anyway. So, because we had to be at home.
We couldn't leave our houses.
And so we were in those dark times, and stick together, you can pull through anything.
Any inspiration for writing or stuff like that?
Because
I mean,
Okay.
everyone was in a pretty dark space. The server said, don't leave your house. You're stuck with these four walls.
Well, not having work at that time and all that, I was just like jamming around, figuring out new ideas. But those songs they're not released, actually. Still in the woodwork for the new, I don't want to say like, but...
Yeah, I don't want to give away too much, but
yeah,
for the future.
Yeah, for the future, yeah. So there's a lot more in the future coming. So it's not a dead end there, but in the time period of music that I made, it's like from school and from, like I wrote originally for another band, but didn't quite get through it, but I originally wrote everything from myself.
Mm-hmm.
So try to pull it through to the band, and then obviously Kyle altered it to make it more his own, and as we go we develop as a group. So that's pretty much how the development of that goes.
Excellent. Good communication.
That's our key point right now.
Fantastic. Carl, Guthrie, you guys with the being known for the antics on stage and the banter that you guys have, can we expect to see you guys in like outlandish, over-the-top costumes for the...
Well, with Frenzy, you never know. Like,
without giving away too much, of course.
yeah, like we kind of get too much. Like we might come as ourselves, or we might come as like transgender black women that identify as Persian. You never know. Like it's a gamble. You'll have to come to the
Yeah, come to the gig and see for yourself. On the topic of surprises, TerroRaze boys, have you got a special little something for us?
You want to flip a coin for this one?
You can
Well, let's say we went the extra mile.
Yeah,
Some might even say about 8 of them.
Okay.
for sure.
Yeah.
So something completely unknown that we can, unknown for you guys.
Yep.
And expect to see for you.
Yep. We might lose our own locations.
Yeah. Yeah, it's something drifting very far away from metal. It's something completely, I would say, unexpected that the people will see. But
I'm super excited to see.
I think like half the band responded with why? but then at the same time, I think just because I want to push that, it's not just a metal scene in Cape Town. There's an alternative, there's an experimental, the punk scene is picking up again. Our little underground rock scene is picking up again. And I think the more you get people from all these various spiels of the scene to come together and enjoy things outside of comfort zone, their sphere, the better it's going to be for everyone else, because that's just what brings people together. So just because we're doing it because it's the last thing we would do is motivation. Honestly, hell yeah. I think you have to do stuff like that, otherwise you just get stuck in a routine as an artist.
Push your limits and surprise people at the same time.
Yeah, 100%.
Leo, is there anything that you are specifically looking forward to for the Halloween gig?
Well, it's
Apart from
Halloween. It's a full blood moon.
Well, really?
Yes. There's also an eclipse, not the eclipse, the moon version of that. and it's all the bands playing, so I'm really looking forward to just listening to all the surprises that are coming and watching your faces when the surprises are coming out. And just generally being with awesome people and having fun for once, just letting my hair down and...
Well, it's going to be so good to see the shock and surprise on all the different bands' faces watching the other bands
Yes.
throughout the whole evening.
No, I'm excited.
Carl, you specifically for you guys, just because I haven't picked on you in a little while, if you guys had to pick one specific song, your favorite song, you're going to listen to that one song for the rest of your life, what would that one song be? You don't both have to pick the same one.
Okay, so does that have to be like
Doesn't
our own music?
It could be anything at all.
Yo, that's very...
Britney Spears.
Well, there's a song that always pops up in my playlist, like almost every day somehow, but I always groove with it. I would say Whitechapel, The Saw is the Law.
Nice.
So, because that just keeps getting my day moving, It feels like
That one song that never gets old.
Yeah, it's just that one that just goes, man.
Carl, you?
would have to say it's a band that, like, I don't know if they still exist anymore. Ever forthright, infinitely inwards. Reason being because it kind of combines a lot of the things I like. So like there's like messy riffs, and then there's like a jazz saxophonist taking a solo, followed by some random female rapper that falls in late on in the song. So yeah.
There's something that keeps you guessing the whole time, so it never gets old.
Something like that.
This sounds great, man. Moritz, I've, like from day one, I've been staggered by Joe's vocals. So, like, what was your sort of impression, or like when it comes to her capability behind the mic? Because I mean, TerroRaze is a female-fronted metal band, and there's absolutely no clean singing at all.
Yes, that's actually why I mean I was so keen to just get into the band, is because having like a female in a band, most of the times, no matter if it's metal or whatever, you expect like clean singing, but in this case, the key thing in this band was to not do any clean singing, to just stick to your roots.
The TerroRaze is anything but.
Anything but clean singing or clean distortion or whatever you want to call it. So, I mean, I always knew she had it in her, and the fact that she's now in the band and everything, and she's just been raising the bar the more she goes on, the more gigs we play. It's just that she, and I knew, like, I can see she still sticks to her roots. So that's why, I mean, she's even giving some of the other guys they're doing the growls in the scene like a run for them.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Oh yeah.
So that's why so this whole thing is just working out.
Seeing people guys off the stage after a gig going, how?
Exactly. She pulls it off so nicely, presenting herself, wearing like a dress and everything. She doesn't give off the vibe.
Subverting expectations.
Exactly, but it's like the people said, as soon as she opens up her mouth, it's like, wow, they can't even believe.
Yeah, everyone's jaws dropping.
Yeah.
Excuse me?
Yeah, exactly.
That's kind of exactly what you want.
Well, it's amazing. I couldn't ask for better, so yeah, I'm happy with everything that we have.
Kill Frenzy boys, if you guys had to try and convince someone to come to this gig, to the MetalX Halloween Festival, anything that you want to say to them, to try and convince them to show up?
Can I say it into the camera?
Please do.
Okay, cool. We know what you get up to on weekends. You watch friend reruns and joke yourself. So do yourself a solid and come out, get shit-faced, and watch all of these great bands. I promise your dick and your vag will still be there when you get out.
I really want to come out and see
Who wouldn't want to see that?
So I guess it's safe to say that everybody's excited for this, yeah?
Extremely.
Everyone, horns up from everyone?
Yeah.
Thank you guys.
Thank you very much for joining us on the couch this evening, guys. We'll see you there.
Cheers.
Cheers.